Alright, what's up guys? So, after a lot of thought and looking up win rates for matches, I'm switching over to the Briar Spawn version of Cliff Dive Demon Hunter. I am 9 wins away from Legend, so let's see what happens here. This is, what, part 8? Yeah, this is part 8 of the Legend Run video series for January 2026. I'm recording on the 4th, so only 4 days into the season. I did not realize how great the win rates were for all of the matchups almost for Cliff Dive Demon Hunter. Because if you play Climbing Hook and Briar Spawn, then you can play Elise. I don't have Broxigar, which is kind of a problem. Because Broxigar gives you the 0 cost spell that summons the guy that you can attack and get closer to Broxigar. But that's normally how people do it. But I was playing against the Briar Spawn version yesterday a little bit on the ladder, and it was crazy. Just surprisingly good. And I don't know why I didn't know that Briar Spawn actually triggers. I always thought that the triggers stacked the opposite way, because Cliffside happens before Briar Spawn, so I always figured that the Briar Spawn trigger would happen after the Cliff Dive trigger does, therefore not actually attacking at the end of the turn. But it does attack, so that's incredibly good. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Cliff Dive, though. I've played this deck a ton, not with Briar Spawn, like I mentioned, and not with Elise either, so I'm very excited to see how Elise does. Alright, Mr. Control Warrior. That's totally cool. I'm very glad that died, because now I can do this. I guess I should have done that first. Oh well. Yeah. Sorry, I literally just woke up. So, haven't even had my coffee yet. But yeah, I should have poked them for 1, hit that, and then played this guy, but whatever. We're here, and we're going for it. Okay, so I think return policy is okay here. Yeah, I love the recursion of return policy, Fell Hunter, and Blobotar. Makes it really difficult for like Shaman and other aggressive decks. You have to live long enough to be able to do it, but I think between Infestation, Red Card, you know, Withered Slumber, there's enough tools to, wow, I got another one. There's enough tools, I think, to push through the early turns. Aggro Paladin can be a tough matchup. You just gotta mulligan appropriately, though. Okay. So we're going to do this, and then hit him for 8. If I kill this, then these guys all die. I get 4. That'll give me 4 little ooze dudes.
Demons. Demons.
Yeah, I don't think I can justify a cliff dive this turn. That seems bad. I mean, they're going to attack back, probably hit this, and then kill the board anyway. So I think this is fine, actually, because I can just play another Fell Hunter. Yeah, I think this is okay. It's normally not a huge deal to be losing your Blavatar, because there's so much recursion with Ravenous Fell Hunter. Let's see, they are still pretty far away from the quest. That's good. So Cliff Dive could have been a decent play if Briar Spawn was in the deck still, because if that comes out and hits that guy, then they're taking 7 to the face. It's not great, but it is just fine. Yeah, I mean, I don't even need Cliff Dive right now. This is just fine. Yeah, I mean, let's see how they decide to answer this. Of course. Ooh la la. Okay, so I would love to play Caulifero here, but I don't know that there's a way I can.
I grow impatient.
Because even if I stinger one of my guys, I'm gonna get a grub. I guess, no, I can do that, attack that guy with the grub, and then play Caulifero. Alright, well, let's see what happens then. Oh wow, I don't even get grub. Okay. See, the thing is, if I get Inquisitor, that's just not good. Magtheridon would be amazing. There's 4, 5 guys. Ziliax works too. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, fine. Yeah, maybe just waiting was better, but yeah, that was a tough one. There's Magtheridon, okay. So Inquisitor, or not, yeah, Inquisitor, Elise, and Blob of Tar. Oh, and Ziliax. So
I grow impatient.
I think we're gonna do this. Like, Inquisitor would be perfect.
Everyone could use a fresh coat of paint.
Nice. Nice. And that puts him at 8 life. Okay. Yeah, like if I did that last turn, I guess Dracorex wouldn't have killed them. But I assume, yeah, I was gonna say, I assumed they had a brawl. So if I did that, they probably would have just brawled, and then they would have still had Dracorex for future threats. But this is okay, because I've got another Inquisitor, so As long as they don't gain more than 8 armor or 9 armor, then they're dead. Yeah, this seems great. I mean, and I just also, I don't even need the other Inquisitor. I just attack, use my hero power to attack, and this guy attacks again. So that's 17 right there. So unless they can get to 18 or higher, and even so, they would need to get above 25 because of the other one that I have.
You possess true power.
Yeah, I really like Cliff Dive Demon Hunter. I did not realize that the matchups were that good. Like, very, very good stats. I think, I'm trying to remember, I think it was Elemental Mage is their worst matchup. They've got like a 40% win rate against that. Boom, it is. But yeah, outside of Elemental Mage, really good percentages across the board, like 60% or 56% plus on pretty much everything. Some of them being 60 or 70%. So that's a huge thing. Yeah, I always talk about how we're too reliant on data nowadays with Hearthstone, but you have to be aware of the data because that information means I have to play Cliff Dive at this point. Like, like if you're not playing Cliff Dive right now, I think you're missing an opportunity for a lot of wins. And had I seen that, I probably would have been grinding with this deck instead of the Aggro Demon Hunter and the Dragon Warrior deck that I've been using. I really like that Dragon Warrior deck. That was a lot of fun to play that. Let's see. Red card is usually not a keep. I think this is okay. Red card, it might be good against Shaman, I think. I am tempted to keep it. I think it's okay, though. I think because I have Infestation, red card is a little less necessary. Cool. Yeah, this is a great hand. Now this deck normally plays Broxigar and no Briar Spawn, but I really like the potential for blowouts with Briar Spawn. I also don't have Broxigar. I think I opened him in a pack, and then I tried Spell Demon Hunter because that was the only thing running him that I could find. And that deck it just does not seem very good. And then right after I dusted him, guess what started playing Broxigar? Cliff Dive Demon Hunter. So learn from my mistake and don't dust your legendary minions unless it's absolute nonsense. Like, if there's any potential of play, like, it's normally just best to keep them. Because it's such a pain to get them after you dusted them. You're losing a ton of value. I think Insect Claw is probably the play here. I could Slumber also, but I do like having Slumber for the potential of 2 damage to all minions. I have double Infestation though. I think Slumber's the way to go. That's a good card. Blob of Tar would be great off the top. Okay, not Blob of Tar.
Vengeance is mine.
So I'm probably going to go Climbing Hook on turn 6 and then Cliff Dive on turn 7. Frosty Decor. Such a good card. So let's see, this is 4 between this and the Grub. Infestation's another Infestation's another 4, 8.
Demons? Demons.
Yeah, I think this is the way to go here. Because we can do this. And we're gonna do this and this. Nice. So first turn I play Climbing Hook. This will awaken so I can attack and not lose durability. That's awesome. Yeah, Singleton Climbing Hook is decent. I was very surprised to see it at first in when I played against it, and as soon as I saw it, like literally the turn after, I was like, oh, this is good. Especially in this deck, because yeah, it gives you a weapon on turn 6 just before Cliff Dive, which if you get double Inquisitor, can be blowout city. Ooh, look at that. So these guys have immune while attacking, which is really annoying. So if they attack here, I'm not going to gain any life off the lifesteal. So I could smack one of these. Like I could always coin and smack this guy, but then again, that'll put me to 22, and then I'll get no life off of that. I could just smack their face, because if I Cliff Dive into double Inquisitor, I'm dealing 16 plus 5. I'm going to do this. It's not super ideal, but I think it's okay. I could also red card one of those guys, but I think it's fine. Whew, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's very good. Ooh, there's Blavatar, that's good. So both Fell Hunters are in my hand, so Cliff Dive should hit some good stuff here. Nice, that is great. So I think what I do here is we red card this. We're gonna smack this guy and then hit them in the face. Now it is worth noting that Magtheridon, it's just when it's dormant it deals 3 damage, so you can red card your own Magtheridon to make it dormant again, and then it'll keep dealing 3 damage a turn. So I think it was right to red card this guy, because that's a lot more pressure on me. If they continue to attack for 8 with that, you know, obviously I have Blavatar, but then I would be taking 8 now, plus whatever else they do, so seems like the right call.
I remember this place well.
Good old Elise.
There is little time.
pretty good. Oh, wow. Okay, so... So I can go Inquisitor, attack this, attack their face.
I grow
That's 13, puts them at 5. I'm going to take 6 on the backswing, which isn't awful. I think that's okay, actually. I would like to get Blob of Tar out there so that the Fell Hunters start to recur them, but I think it's more likely I can just close out the game before that's relevant.
time grows short.
And then Therodon at the end of turn puts them at 2. So I just need to Infestation them. Hopefully they don't have Frosty Decor, but even if they do, they're not going to gain the armor unless they die. So this should be game, I'm hoping. I'm trying to remember what life gain or like what healing ability Shaman has. I don't think there's too much, if any. Like Elise, for like if they play Terror Run, that could give them some armor. But I think that's unlikely. Ooh, that's rough. Okay. That's really rough. Okay, that's actually really bad. That's the best possible they could have had. Well, shoot. Wow. Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, it doesn't appear that there's any way through this. Yeah, that was very well played. I mean, maybe just a little lucky, but yeah, normally the shaman matchup here is really good. Yeah, that's very good for them. Normally the shaman matchup is really great, but I mean, how do you argue with 11 Ziliaxes? That's the power of shaman. Like, if they can pump their guys multiple times, then they can beat just about anything. So I want to say it's like a 60-ish% win rate of Cliff Dive for Cliff Dive over Shaman, at least mid-range Shaman. But wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, sometimes they got it.
Illidan versus Scarlet.
Yeah, I still think Ziliax is a little too good.
Ends now.
So we keep Blob of Tar. I don't think we keep Dangerous Cliffside here. Not the greatest draws. Okay. This will be tough. Well, at least we've got Blob of Tar and Felt Hunter, so there is that recursion, which should help us get to the later turns and start dropping bombs. But there's still enough in the deck that Cliff Dives are very active. I just have to hope that that we don't continue to draw big spells. think this is the way to go.
Vengeance is mine.
And I think I'm gonna coin out Blob of Tar. Normally it's just better to get it out sooner, because the sooner it dies, the sooner you can start recurring it. Let's see what I draw for this first. There's the other Fell Hunter, good. And yeah, I think I could Infestation just so that I have them, but I'm already at 8 cards. Let's do this. I think this is the right call. I almost want to just trade Blobotar. And then we're gonna do this. If they want to trade that, that's fine. But at least they won't have a leg up on me by having their poisonous minion in addition to it. That's pretty good. Does it trigger twice? Oh no, okay. Ooh, Cliffside's decent here. I could just Fell Hunter. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do this. So that's 3, 4, yeah. Might as well do this and this, just get a quick board clear. Caulifero would be awesome soon. There's no greater feeling than Caulifero. Because, yeah, transforming all your minions into something huge is just amazing.
You defile
It's fun, and it's it's demoralizing for our opponent. It's everything you want. That's pretty good, okay. Wow. That's very good. So maybe Fell Hunter was the play. Okay. I can Blob of Tar.
Demons? Demons.
Yeah, this becomes a little tricky now. Climbing Hook I don't think is the call.
Demons? Demons.
They're not gaining any more life, thankfully, because they're already back at 30, so it's not a huge deal to be attacking Ziliax. But it does seem like I'm going to take some damage here, so I think Blob of Tar is the way to go.
Time grows short.
I can kill one of them like this. And then, yeah, I don't want to, but I'm going to take 6 here. missed the last attack, whatever. So a little better position. I don't like that I'm already at 17. That's obviously not good, but cliff dive off the top would be an amazing draw. Wow. Alright. When you got it, you got it. Cliff dive, please. Well, I wanted Caulifero, but... Shoot. Yeah, this might just be the end. Climbing hook doesn't help. Cliffside gives me 4 to attack with. 7, yeah. Yeah, that's the way it goes. Yeah, that was really powerful. Zilliax into double 8/8s. Yeah, hard to argue with being beat by that. I'd rather be beat by good cards than just luck, so. Alright, so 1 and 2. I think that puts me 10 wins away from Legend now. So getting a little farther. I got as close as Diamond 2 yesterday. Yeah, it was 5 wins away from Legend yesterday. So, kind of some ebb and flow. You got to go up and down a little bit.
This ends now. You dare speak to me?
I assume they are also Cliff Dive. I'm not seeing too much aggro Demon Hunter on the ladder. Same thing with Spell Demon Hunter. Yeah, it seems very likely they're also Cliff Dive. And I thought for a half a second about keeping the Cliff Dive. Because one of the issues in this matchup is if you whoever draws their Cliff Dives first tends to be able to win faster. But it might affect the early game enough that it was, I don't know, didn't seem like it was worth holding that. Because if you have your Cliff Dives and then you start drawing your big minions, then the Cliff Dives are kind of useless, so I don't know. I guess it could go either way. I have seen versions of this deck that play Fey Trickster, which is like the 3-mana 2/4 Death Rattle is draw a spell that costs 5 or more, so that immediately gets you your Cliff Dives. Only problem with that is it makes Fell Hunter much worse. Cool. So if you play Fey Trickster, I don't think you can justify playing Fell Hunter. Definitely can't play Return Policy. Because yeah, Return Policy for Fey Trickster, not very good. Oh my goodness. Alright, it's a battle of dormant minions. Well, we just gotta play Blavatar here. Ooh, no, we play Elise here. They get... No, I gotta play Blavatar, because they get this next turn, and I don't want them to pick up too much momentum off of it. If they have, like, Infestation, that could be annoying, but I think it's okay. Sure. Wow. Okay, maybe they are just Spell Demon Hunter. Because I don't think... Yeah, you can't play Cliff Dive with no minions. Wow. Yeah, this is very uncommon. So this one awakens next turn. I think the other Blobitar is a fine play. I could go Elise and go for the 1 mana location and try and make a 1 mana copy of Blobitar. It's not super great. I think I can do better with Terra Run, but it is an option to be aware of, I suppose. Yeah, we're just gonna go for Terra
I
Run.
remember this place well.
Just kidding, I already attacked. Oh, should have done that earlier, whatever. Okay. Thank you for that. How do I want to play this?
Demons? Demons.
I'm thinking I want to play the Fell Hunter, because if I can make a copy of Fell Hunter, that's really powerful. Yeah, I think that works out pretty well here. They get this next turn and that in 3 turns. And let's do this. They can gain their 10, that's fine. It's really not a huge deal. We'll trade this, and yeah, that's a much better board position.
I see.
No red card, no red card. Ah, fine. Fine. It's annoying, but manageable. It's a pretty good draw.
Demons?
I think Terra Run is fine, because I get this back next turn, make a copy. I'm going to take 5, 7, possibly 8. And they still got a couple of turns for those guys. That's crazy. They're getting a lot of the 5/5s off those dormant minions.
Demons?
I could just drop the Blob of Tar also.
Time grows short.
Yeah, this is a tough one. You know, let's just let them... Yeah, I'm just going to do that. We'll let them get through the Blobotar, which is fine. It would be nice to have Terror Run up before I Cliff Dive, because if I get Illidari Inquisitor, then I can make a copy, leading to a more explosive turn, but it should be alright. And I'm totally okay with taking damage because I'm holding Ziliax, but obviously I can't take too much.
Your ship is nothing to my blades.
Pretty good. So I'm a little bit ahead on the attrition war. They've got 22 cards in total left. I've got 24. Nice. That's great. So yeah, this becomes way better now. No. Oh, man. That's really bad. That's really bad. Yeah, so now they can shuffle more portals into their deck. Ay, ay, ay. Okay.
Demons? Demons.
Okay, so in that case,
Time grows short.
how do I want to play this then? So they're gonna get those portals either way. Yeah, I think this is the way to go. Even though it could get them more of those demons. I think, yeah, the potential for Blob of Tar is still there. Solitude is a very interesting card.
I will not return.
After him!
Okay then.
Ready to check in?
Time grows short.
Well, that one worked, at least. Ay, ay, ay. There's Cliff Dive, okay. Let's see. Show me Blob of Tar. Come on. There we go. That's much better.
Get him! Get him!
Yeah, Caulifero would be great because I can transform these into something so they don't shuffle portals into their deck. But I don't think the portals are the end of the world. Got one Fell Hunter left in the deck, so this will draw something. Yeah, I think we just do this. Yeah, I think this is a fine position. I've still got Double Inquisitor, Briarspawn, Magtheridon, and Caulifero that could be hit off of Cliff Dive, so all solid targets. Except for Caulifero, obviously, but you get 2 minions off of Cliff Dive, so even if I get Caulifero, the other things would be great. I feel like they should have attacked with their minion and their hero, gotten both the oozes out, then done the fumigate, because that would have killed both of the lanky blobs. and then I would have nothing left on the board for blobs. Jeez, yeah, that doesn't seem ideal. Okay. I could cliff dive. If I cliff dive, I can still play a weapon with Insect Claw. Should I get like double Inquisitor? I could also just Ziliax here.
Demons.
Yeah, Ziliax seems pretty good here, actually.
Get him!
Time grows short.
Oh, get him!
I'm actually gonna do this.
Oh,
It's mine.
So now there's something for them to answer, and I still have Cliff Dive and Briar Spawn at the ready. I guess I could have gone Briar Spawn, make a copy, and then it would have hit both those minions. They would have taken 3 plus 9. They'd take 12. But I do like to... I think Briar Spawn is better reserved for kind of game ending or getting closer to game ending positions. Ooh, they're going to take 6 here. Yeah, that's totally fine. So Cliff Dive could do it here. Nice. Alright, so now that the Briar Spawn is gone, Cliff Dive's got a 50% chance of hitting Inquisitor on each of the minions. Yeah, let's just run it.
Vengeance is mine.
Great position. So if they play any minions, I have Briar Spawn, and I think the game's over. Sure. Okay, that's annoying. Of all things for them to get off of discoveries. Gain 8 armor. Okay, fine. Let's see, so I've got 4 damage in my hand. This will be 3, so that's 7, plus my weapon. So if I just red card this, they're dead anyway. Ooh, there's Inquisitor. There it is.
For now.
Okay. 2-2 after 4 games. Man, that was a grindy match. So now 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 wins away. Here we go. I do still wish I was playing Dragon Warrior. Because I'm like 18 games away from the Golden Warrior. So would love to get that, but hey, whatever gets me to Legend, I guess. Let's see, so 45, 31.
Come and fight me.
So my total record on this Legend run has been 47-33. Yeah. It's not bad, but definitely had some losses lately that have been annoying. said it never gets you to legend. Do you usually get there? If so, what pushes the last? So normally, like in the recent past, the thing that's gotten me to legend is Aggro Demon Hunter. Normally I would kind of grind out the beginning of the ladder with Aggro Demon Hunter. I would kind of fart around around like platinum and diamond rank, you know, just playing other decks and trying to see if I can get some momentum with something else. In the past, that was like, you know, Murlocs, Cliff Dive, stuff like that. Cliff Dive's gotten a lot better since then, though, and that's why I'm playing it now. Let's go Blob of Tar here. But then in the past, once I get to about above Platinum 5, then I just like Demon Hunter aggro, grind my way through, because it's tough when you get to like above Platinum 5, because no win streak means that every game you're grinding every single star. So when you get to that point, if the games are long, you know, like if you're playing, for example, Control Warrior, and you got to grind every star, if you're losing, you know, a couple of games, then it just costs you so much time. So I normally went with Aggro Demon Hunter, because if I lost, it was usually pretty apparent by like turn 8 or 9 if I was going to lose. So I could easily, you know, make up the time of game losses with some wins. Yeah, this seems good. But yeah, right now I think the metagame's a little shifted from last season when I made Legend. So I think Cliff Dive's a really good deck. Broxigar I think is ideal to play. I don't have Broxigar, so I went with Briar Spawn. But yeah, the whole Legend grind is... And the other thing too, it's different for every person. You know, like if you're grinding out Legend, you know, if you know a deck really well, that is almost better than just playing what, you know, objectively the best deck is. Holy goodness. That's pretty crazy. Siege Tank is nuts. Yeah, like one of the tips in my video that I made, like top tips for making Legend, is pick a deck and stick with it. Because I think a lot of people bounce around between decks too much. So that's something I was trying to... That's something I was trying to emphasize in this Legend run, was just playing a deck, sticking with it. This matchup is incredibly easy so far. This is nuts. Because if you play with a deck and you stick with it, then you have the ability to master it. I think so many people jump around between decks. You know, you go on a losing streak and you're like, forget this deck, I'm not playing, you know, let's go play something else that's supposed to be better. Or a lot of people will chase like the hot deck in the metagame. And you see it all the time. Like when Dragon Warrior first started getting popular, it was everywhere on the ladder for like a week straight. Let's do this. And I think same thing with many different decks that have come up in Standard over the years. When something catches a lot of attention, then people jump into it. They don't know how to play it well. They don't give it the time it deserves, and then they're like, "Well, it's not as good as everybody says, man." It's like, well, you know, it's better just to stick with one thing and master it. Like, that was something I was a big proponent of that in Magic the Gathering. Like people used to kind of poke fun at me because I would always play this very specific deck. Bob is annoying. I would always play a very specific deck in Magic the Gathering because I knew it so well that most people kind of wrote it off, and that gave me the ability to steal some wins very easily. How do I want to do this here? So I like this position, having Caulifero.
I grow impatient.
I'm going to do this.
Vengeance is mine.
So now I've got more gas with Dangerous Cliffside next turn. Yeah, this is a really great spot to be in right here. I like this. Yeah, playing Caulifero should be pretty back-breaking here, as long as I don't get Elise. Like, if I get Elise here, that's no bueno. I mean, any minion is better than 1/1s, obviously, but I would love Inquisitor for the explosive win. Jeez. Yeah, this is incredible. Okay. So, we're definitely doing this. How do I want to play this? I think Caulifero is the way to go. The risk for Elise is only 33%.
Demons. Demons.
I don't think I can attack with my hero, though, because if I get Inquisitor... Yeah. Yeah, I want to attack with the hero so I get another minion, but that's just greedy. Let's just see what we get. Yes! Let's go! Take 40 damage. That is why I love this deck. That right there. That's amazing. And even if it was Briar Spawn, they would have taken a bunch of damage at the end of the turn. Dang. Yeah, I'm still very interested in the Fey Trickster version of this deck. But because that messes with the return policy and the Fell Hunters,
You asked for it.
I don't know. I'm very partial to this version of the deck because I've been playing this for a long time on and off. I think Slumber and Elise is fine. Yeah, let's see what happens here. Normally Elise is a keep in this deck because it's so powerful. Okay, not the best draw. So Elemental Mage is, I think, a much worse matchup than everything else. I think it's actually the worst matchup for the deck, if I remember correctly. I could Slumber here, but I think Slumber has potential for dealing with a board spam. So if they just spam the board with a bunch of like fireflies and things like that, Slumber's helpful. Fireflies aren't a huge deal, but like if they play just a bunch of guys in general, it is something to do. Interesting. Okay, that's fair. So not great to be this low. Eesh, awful draw. Okay, so Elise seems like the way to go here. See, one of the benefits of Slumber is that if I played that on turn 3, it does give me the potential of the 5/5 with lifesteal. Yeah, we do this. And yeah, I guess that's the way to go, sure. I was hoping for some armor or something in there, but none for me. Yeah, I kind of think Terror Run is the way to go here. I don't think it's the best line of play that is available in the deck, but I think out of these cards, it might just be. Because if I go like if I red card this, I don't think that's very good. Yeah. So, well, I could like red card that and then Blob of Tar. They take 3, and then next turn I Terror Run, make a copy of my Blob of Tar. That could help, actually. I don't want to use the... I'd prefer not to use the red card just yet, but that sequencing should work out pretty well. They just have to not kill Blob of Tar, please. Please. Have mercy, sir, please.
Let's lighten the mood.
Okay. Awesome. I think we're gonna do this, actually. Alright, so momentum has shifted. So glad that worked.
I lost my place.
Ooh, that's not good. Page turner's a big problem. And the coin. Well done. Yeah, they reserved resources for this. Whew. Okay, then. Shoot. Yeah, we gotta get rid of that guy. That's right. Just kidding. Wow, I did not even think about how these elementals would trigger his ability again. Pretty good. Pretty darn good. And believe it or not, just in case, I gotta be very careful with my life total here, so if for whatever reason they can clear this out the way, and the other blobs out of the way, then I don't want to take any damage, so that play could be considered paranoid, but I gotta be very careful here. Because if I'm gonna win, usually the wins are pretty explosive. It's not gonna be because I'm grinding out 1/1s. So I think that's fine. Come on. Come on. Darn it. Okay, so Califero gets a lot of good things. Ziliax would be incredible.
I grow impatient.
So let's do... Yeah, let's do this. And so I would like to hold this to play on one of the minions I get off of this, but like if it's Zilliax, I guess I won't have yeah. Right, let's just give it a run. What do we get? Zilliax, come on. Yes! Yes! There we go. That's what I'm talking about. The last two Coliferos have been the best possible. Yeah, that was very lucky. Especially against Elemental Mage, which is a horrendous matchup. And I guess, so going back to that play where I attacked the Firefly with the 2/1/1s, I guess because they had the other page turner, I guess it probably was more correct to play around a second page turner, because that would have given more, that would have put more minions on the board that could have eaten up that damage. Because if I didn't get Zilliax there, then I was in a really bad position.
This ends now.
Alright, so after 6 games, I am 4-2. Got some decent forward momentum now.
Vengeance is mine.
One thing I really like about this deck is once you know the deck well enough, very quick turns. Most of the, like, every now and then you'll have to really think about how you're sequencing. And Elise makes that a little bit tougher because there's, you know, a lot more of a decision tree there. But for the most part, this deck is just very boom, boom, like, play Blavatar, like, as soon as possible. Speak of the devil. Sure. Yeah, you just play Blavatar as soon as possible. You don't care if it dies, and then you play Fell Hunter pretty much as soon as Blavatar dies. And then anytime after that that you can, you just play Return Policy. You obviously can't get greedy. You don't play Return Policy when you've already got multiple Blavatar. You got to make sure they grind through them, and then you present more. Because that can also have a demoralizing effect on your opponent, where you're like, okay, I ground through 2 more Blavatar. All right, let's get this game going. And then you're like, here's 2 more.
Vengeance is mine.
One thing I don't have enough games in to know is it always still correct to play Blob of Tar when you can? Oh. Well, thank God for Infestation. So normally I would play Blob of Tar here, but that Dream card they got off of this could be return a minion to your hand. So if that's the case, Blob of Tar could just get bounced, they hit me for 7, and then I'm behind a lot. So I think Infestation is the right call here, because that just straight deals with it. But yeah, normally I would just draw Blob of Tar there.
I remember this place well.
Fair enough. Okay, so now we've got one hell of a curve. I think Blob of Tar is correct here over Elise. Elise is very powerful, but I want to go Climbing Hook on turn 6 and then Cliff Dive on turn 7 so that I have the potential of like a double Inquisitor or something. And if the cliff dive happens to hit a Fell Hunter and I haven't gotten a Blobitar out there, then it's much worse. Because then Fell Hunter loses a lot of value. So I think this is the right call. Elise is incredibly powerful, especially if you can get out like Terra Run before your cliff dive, then you're making copies of stuff. That's obviously amazing. Jeez. Sure thing, buddy. Oh, that's even better, because now I can go Fell Hunter and Tusk Piercer. Alright, so they're pretty much within range of double Inquisitor, should I get that. Alright, good. That's much better than some of the other dream cards. And let's just run it. Awesome. So I think we go here. So I can hit them for 6, 14. I think it's okay to do this. Yeah, they're at a higher life total now, obviously, but I think, yeah, this is a much better position. I might wait until turn 9 for Elise so that I can just straight play the Terra Run the same turn. Califero would be a great draw here. Okay. Maybe Climbing Hook is the way to go. Yeah, let's just get these guys out the way, and I think I'm gonna Climbing Hook. Yeah, let's just run it. Okay, that's annoying. Fair enough.
I remember this place well.
Seems like a pretty good turn. It's very likely that whatever they play, I'm just gonna Briar Spawn. Fine. spawn's a little worse now.
Vengeance is mine.
And this fills up my board, so I get a little less value off of Fell Hunter, but giving the weapon that ability seems very relevant. More armor. That's fair. So, yeah, about that. So let's see, they're going to take 10, 13. Yeah, it's fine. Ooh, that's good. Of course. So this will deal, yeah, a lot of damage. Or I could just, oh no, they're dead either way, because if I do this, then I've got 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. Boom. Alright, 5 and 2 after 7 games. Alright, 6 games away from Legend, or 6 wins. Yeah, Briar Spawn's very good in this deck.
Illidan versus Garrosh.
Victory or death! This ends now!
I don't think it's bad to keep Fell Hunter here. Yeah, it's more likely that they are Dragon Warrior than Control Warrior, so I'm thinking Fell Hunter is decent. Yeah, we're gonna give this a run. Yeah, great draws. Mm-hmm. There it is. Yeah, I'm okay with taking 3. Obviously, that's not something I can red card right now. That's just silly. But I think next turn... Oh, wow. Okay. Not happy taking an additional 3, but whatever. I would prefer normally not to... I guess they already have Dracorex if Plucky doesn't show that they drew anything. Normally I wouldn't telegraph the infestation like that, but I want to play Blob of Tar into Fell Hunter the following 2 turns. So I think that's really important to have the stingers ready should something silly happen.
The menagerie is for guests only.
Well, I like this version of Dragon Warrior. The Curator's pretty solid. Yep, totally fine with that trade. And I've got 6 minions, so I don't think I'm going to activate it again.
Looks like we've got a fight for the ages.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Proportions look good.
Stonecarver is an interesting play there. I don't mind this too much. Somebody can also go here. Cool. Cauliflower off the top, I would love. Can't play it for 2 turns, but great position for Cauliflower.
Inside voices.
Ah.
Proportions look good.
Interesting. Taking 5 is a lot there. That's a very fascinating play. Yeah, because I have the other infestation, I'm not super concerned about using the stingers to the face. I could attack them here. Yeah, I think it's okay. wouldn't be surprised if they Dracorex right now. But even if they do, I think they're dead. Wind Peak Worm would be annoying, but still very manageable. Wow. You're gonna Dracorex now?
In the ring.
Oh.
In the ring are stars to find.
There it is. Alright, 6-2. So what do we got? 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 wins to legend now. Inching closer. Yeah, this deck was a good call here. As soon as I saw the win rates, I was like, I have to play this. It would be silly not to.
This is just a practice round.
This ends now!
I think Double Slumber's great here.
Rot number 802, welcome to the collection.
That was a ballsy play. Prep, flashback, space rock. And I would like to get rid of this guy before the spell burst. It's not the end of the world, but it would just be... Wait, what? Oh, Frenzy, not... Sorry, I thought that was Spell Burst. Doi? Okay, so they get a dude either way. Alright, so it is turn 3 and I'm down to 20. Not very good, but... Thankfully, it doesn't seem like they've drawn too much gas so far. Yeah, that was a little bit of a ballsy play, because if they don't have anything to follow that up with, then they're just at the mercy of their top decks. Yeah, which seems like that's the case right now.
Welcome to the collection.
This guy will be great next turn. That'll give me a little bit more pressure. In addition to Dangerous Cliffside, could be a great turn.
Care to make a wager, friend?
Okay. Well, that 8-cost minion doesn't really do much because of my poisonous minion. Definitely doing that. And we're going to get rid of this 3-2 just because I'm at 19. I don't want to end up losing because I took extra damage that I didn't have to. Now they need like a dubious purchase or something. They gotta have some. Oh, yeah, that's rough. Yeah, they're not drawing well. I've always loved that Cliffdive Demon Hunter can just go aggro. Dangerous Cliffside, the weapons, the dormant minions, they hold a lot of power. So sometimes you just need that tiny little push with like an Inquisitor or, you know, like Caulifero, Cliffdive, and that just is all you need to finish the game.
I've learned a lot from this.
Okay, let's see if this finishes the game. No, you know what? This is for sure the end. Yeah, I guess this was gonna be my game regardless. Alright, 7-2. Yeah, I almost played the cliff dive and I was like, no, I have lethal. What am I talking about? There was like lethal 2 different ways there. The cliff dive could have done it, but that was a risk. So the infestations were for sure, as well as if I just hero power, then that was also lethal. So Oy. Okay, Mage could be tough. Please don't be Elemental Mage. Please, please, please do not be Elemental Mage. I think I'm gonna keep the red card. Because Elemental Mage is such a bad matchup. I think I got very lucky beating them earlier that it's such a bad matchup. I want to say the win rate is around 40%, something like that. So red card gives me a little bit of advantage if they are actually that. Come on, please no Elemental Mage. Good, okay. So let's see, it looks like I am 52-33 in games now. I guess they could be Elemental Mage still, but I don't think they play these cards. Like, it seems very unlikely. Yeah, okay, definitely not. I was like, it's so unlikely that they would have a draw this slow if they were actually Elemental Mage, but yeah, no. Definitely not. Ooh, good draw. So because I have Fell Hunter, I'm gonna do this trade.
We shall guide our flight here, my love.
Oh boy.
We shall guide our
That's not
flight
good.
here, my love.
Yeah, this is very not good. Okay. So that's if they control another dragon. So if I red card one of them, that is helpful. I don't think Fell Hunter is the play here. So this will give me... That gives me another turn or so. I could play Return Policy. Actually, I think Return Policy is okay here, because that will give me a poisonous minion, which is just another thing they have to worry about in regards to their Azure Queen. Dang.
We shall guide our flight here, my love.
Yeah, this is not good. This is whenever it survives damage, swap stats. So I can just smack those, and then they go back to 3/8. Yeah, this is a bad position. Yeah, sadly I gotta do this. But they will very likely just kill me next turn.
Already struck.
Pretty good. Yeah, from this position, it's very hard to see me winning the game.
Step forth into the time waves.
Jeez, okay. So the bad part about Magtheridon is it makes these guys 5/3s. So that's 10 plus 8 is 13. Or no, plus 8 is 18, which is actually exact lethal. Yeah, I think all I can do is this and just pray.
Shepherd the world's magic, my treasure.
Okay, Ziliax is helpful here at least. I think I have to get rid of this guy. Alright, I'm alive again. Trying to think of how I could actually close this game out.
The sands continue on.
Okay. I don't think Briar Spawn is the call. Okay. I kind of want a climbing hook though.
Vengeance is mine.
Yeah, they're drawing very poorly. I'm surprised. Normally in this position, they just win. Okay then. Maybe they got the win now. Because they're going to double Moonfire, double Starfire. Yeah, that's... There it is. Yeah, that's... Once they've got this going, it's pretty difficult to beat. This is kind of a fringe combo deck in my experience. You don't see it very often, but... I think it's just a teeny bit unreliable. What's that put me at? 7-3. Not bad. Well, I think I'm going to take a quick break and then hit it again. So this is part 8 of the Legend Run series. Hopefully part 9 is where I reach Legend. We're going to find out. Getting pretty close again. But peace and love, guys. Catch you soon.